This factory in Marktoberdorf in Bavaria manufactures the world's most powerful tractor. A juggernaut with more than 500 horsepower and wheels measuring 2 meters 35 across.
The challenge we face is to build tractors of all sizes from a wide range of materials.
Huge agricultural machines made in Germany that sow, harvest, and shred on fields worldwide. Power and high tech for the field, and enjoyment in the cockpit.
Driving a shredder is such a great feeling. I love it.
A parade of the biggest and most modern farm machines at the world's top specialist trade fair. Maneuvering with absolute precision. Assembling with muscle power. The agricultural machines weigh up to 14 tons, and getting them in the right places is a logistical feat.
Worst of all, the machine could tip over and be badly damaged.
Marktoberdorf in Bavaria is home to one of the world's biggest manufacturers of farm machinery. It makes machines for every use, from small, versatile tractors for the grape harvest to gigantic combine harvesters for fields of wheat or corn. For 88 years now, the Bavarian firm has been building everything farmers need for tilling their fields quickly and comfortably. It was back in 1930 that the brothers Hermann and Xaver Fendt built their first tractor, the Dieselross. It had just 6 horsepower. Today, high-performance machines make plowing a pleasure. The latest model is a real farming giant, a 14-tonner. Its 517 horsepower engine gives it a top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. The 1050 Vario is currently the world's most powerful standard tractor. It's manufactured in these huge workshops. At the headquarters of Germany's biggest producer of agricultural machinery, a total of 3,200 staff are employed on an area of 400,000 square meters. That's the size of 57 football pitches. Some 16,000 tractors are built here every year. 7 different models are manufactured on just one production line, one after another. The heart of every tractor is the engine and transmission block. This one alone weighs 4 tons, as much as 3 small cars. The engine is a 12.4-liter, 6-cylinder unit from MAN. Plant manager Peter Babesdorf first checks the unit. Then production can begin.
Mounted on the transmission at the front is the frame for the engine. The engine provides the power and the transmission distributes it. The relatively large element here is our fan unit. Then we have the front axle and here the hydraulic tank.
Over the next 3 hours, the unit will pass through 29 assembly stations. Then the world's most powerful series-built tractor will be ready. First, the data cables are fitted to the engine and transmission block. The high-tech tractor contains many kilometers of cabling and sensors throughout. They constantly monitor what the tractor is doing at any given moment. All this information is relayed during operation to a central computer in the cab. At this station, the tractor is fitted with its air and particle filter, and the catalytic converter which ensures that later on in the field, the environmentally harmful pollutants emitted by the diesel engine, like nitrogen oxides and particulates, are reduced. An 800-liter tank ensures that the tractor can handle any job for at least 12 hours without stopping to refuel. All the components come from a logistics warehouse which is also located on the huge site. The right part for the respective model is supplied at precisely the right time.
The wide range of components required are delivered in the standard way, but we don't have enough space to store them all at each belt. So it takes a lot of logistical expertise and intelligence from our staff to get the right part to the belt at the right time.
At this station, the driver's cab is positioned on the engine block. It is manufactured and pre-assembled at another factory. Depending on the equipment, it weighs up to 1.2 tons. All the fitters are specialists who have completed 3.5 years training as a farm machine mechanic, car mechanic, or mechatronics technician. The cab is secured by 14 huge bolts, 7 on the left and 7 on the right. For the tough demands of operating in fields, the cab must be mounted securely. This important work step is also known as the marriage.
With cars, marriage means installing the engine in the vehicle. With us, it means linking the cab to the tractor.
In the next assembly section, the fitters install the battery case. They then hook up the entire electrics. Next, the engine bonnet is attached, followed by the radiator hoods, one on each side of the tractor. At the next station, the tractor receives its fluids, diesel and hydraulic oil and cooling water. A series of tests is then carried out to ensure that the indicators and the headlights, for instance, are functioning correctly. And to see that the windscreen wiper works. Staff then check the steering system and the onboard electronics.
After the software has been downloaded, the various electronic functions on the tractor are tested. The axles are adjusted and checked along with all the electronic components and all other functions.
The new tractor has to pass more than 100 tests before it is allowed to leave the factory. During assembly, the new tractor has to go through 7 quality controls, amongst other things for the transmission and the hydraulic and electrical systems. Many parts can only be checked before other components, like the wheels, are fitted. All the results are collected in a computer system. Only if the tractor passes all the tests is it released for the next assembly phase. If an error or defect is detected, the tractor is taken to the rework section to be repaired and checked once again by specially trained staff. The next work step is one of the most important. The new tractor gets its wheels. Complete with tires, the front wheels each weigh 400 kilograms. The rear wheels, 800. Diameter, 2 meters 35. By comparison, a normal car tire measures just 60 centimeters across. There are tires for road or off-road use. A tire for use in fields needs a lot of tread so that it can grip. For road use, as a construction vehicle for instance, less tread is required. Wheel assembly is precision work. Laser-guided electric forklifts transport the wheels straight to the tractor. It is jacked up 12 centimeters. Later, the wheels will be secured to the tractor by 12 huge wheel nuts.
The wheel brings the power into contact with the ground. The choice of tire is of crucial importance because, depending on the task, it determines how effectively the engine power is transferred to the surface.
Now the super tractor can move for the first time under its own power. On this roller test rig, it has to show for the first time what it can do and whether all the work on the vehicle has been carried out properly. Weighing many tons, the Colossus is anchored with steel chains to make sure it doesn't break away. The test run takes 6 minutes. The tractor is accelerated, first to 40, then to 50, and then to 60 kilometers per hour. In each case, full braking brings the tractor to a standstill. This tractor has passed the test. The engine and the brakes function as required. The tractor is now complete. All that is required is the final inspection. The first check is to see whether all the lights have the legally required luminosity.
Here we're at the end of the assembly line, at the light tunnel. This factory turns out around 8 tractors a day, mostly for customers in Europe, but we also have clients in South Africa, North America, and in a few off-the-beaten-track countries.
The final inspection takes about 20 minutes. The function of every component is checked again one last time. Are all the components in the right place? Have they been properly secured? Does the tractor have any scratches or defects? The future owner must take possession of a perfect tractor, even if the rigors of everyday operation will soon leave their traces. The underbody is checked to make sure all the hoses are correctly in place and nothing is hanging down. The tractor has passed the final inspection. Over the next few days, it will be sent to a farm in northeastern Germany. Above all, agricultural machines have one purpose in life: to do hard work. At present, around 1 million tractors and agricultural machines are in service in Germany. 200,000 of them were manufactured at this huge factory in the Allgäu region of Bavaria. Near Bayreuth in Upper Franconia, it is time for the corn harvest. Contractor Benjamin Enslein hires out his equipment and staff to farmers in the region who don't have any large machines of their own and for whom buying one would not be financially viable. Today, these 4 men are going to harvest a field 11 hectares in size. A quick briefing beforehand.
For me, the most important thing with a field of corn is the quality of the shredding. It's vital for the farmer and for the biogas that the husks are well cracked, because they are the source of the biogas energy. The next thing that's important is for the driver to know the fields. Sometimes they contain boundary stones, so you really need to watch out, especially on the perimeter. And it's important for us to work as a team, for each man to know where the shredder is going and how the machines should be filled. These are essential issues. They're a matter of priority to me, and so is quality work.
The 4-man team has arrived with 2 tractors with trailers, an additional tractor, and a field chopper. This gigantic field chopper can process 120 tons of corn an hour. The tractors with the trailers always have to travel exactly parallel to the shredder. This calls for great concentration from the drivers. Otherwise, the vehicles might collide.
I need to keep an eye on what he is indicating and on the cutters. It's all about concentration.
The field chopper weighs 18 tons. It is 7 meters long and 3 meters wide. Its 650 horsepower engine consumes 45 liters of gas an hour. The shredder and the tractors are fitted with ultra-modern technology, like GPS. The positioning system is mainly used during sowing when centimeter accuracy is called for in order to make optimum use of the arable area. By comparison, where harvesting is concerned, the driver's visual judgment is important because he sees best where obstacles might lie on the ground in the tall corn. If they are not discovered in time, the row of 10 sharp cutters in front of the chopper could be damaged. Today's corn harvest, by the way, will be used entirely to generate energy. Electricity and heat will be produced in a biogas plant. The difference between forage corn and energy corn is determined by the chop length, as it is known. Depending on what it will be used for, the corn is cut into either longer or shorter lengths. Today, corn has become the most important plant for producing biogas. It provides high yields, is easy to plant and grow, and presents no storage problems.
Right now, our cutting length is 6 millimeters. We can store 2 lengths in the computer. If I see that the corn is getting thinner, I drop to 4 millimeters. That's exactly biogas material. The thinner the corn, the shorter it should be shredded. And the greener the corn, the longer the cut lengths should be. At the moment, we're using 6 millimeters, and the material is coming out of the machine very nicely.
Today, the men will be working on the field for 11 hours and harvesting around 1,400 tons of corn.
It's great fun, and driving a shredder gives you a super feeling. It's just fantastic. Sitting on a shredder like this, you're the boss, the top man. It's so cool driving through villages because other people on the road have to get out of the way.
The tractors take the trailers with the harvest to the farm. The corn is unloaded and covered. Under the sheeting, the energy corn will ferment into energy-rich silage. After 30 days fermentation in a biogas unit, the mass will give off methane gas. A gas engine will then generate electricity and heat from it.
I guess we'll have to store around 1,500 tons of corn in the silos. That's feasible, and I'm confident we'll manage it.
The corn from the field is distributed evenly on the silo and then compacted. It's only under the sheeting, in airtight conditions, that the silage fermentation process gets underway. The compacting in particular is just the right task for the 14-ton super tractor.
It's the perfect machine for spreading and compacting the corn in the silo. In the past, we used to do the job with a Fendt 900 or with an 800. They're now outside taking care of all the removal work. But we now set the standard, especially on the big tractor, because it's extremely heavy and its 500 horsepower have no trouble at all distributing the 40 or 50 cubic meters of corn that are delivered from the field.
Wülfershausen an der Saale in Lower Franconia is home to one of the biggest workshops for tractors and agricultural machinery. 40 staff service and repair up to 15 machines at the same time. This tractor has to be fitted with a new front PTO shaft, to which work tools can be attached.
The transmission's job is to transfer the rotational movement of the engine to the work tool at the front, such as a mower that needs to operate at 1000 RPM.
Converting the tractor, which is owned by a local farmer, takes a whole day and costs several thousand euros. Next, the mechanics fit the new front PTO shaft to the tractor. Later, it will drive the mower at the front of the tractor.
Up a bit. Just a moment. Up a bit. That's it. Good. Just a moment.
The mechanics here trained on agricultural and construction machinery, so they're specialists for excavators and tractors.
Lower crane so I can release it. Good. So.
The belts used to secure the component are removed.
And underneath you'll have to tighten the hexagon screw. There it is.
The men here don't do conversion work like this every day. Nevertheless, every move has to be perfect.
Slowly, slowly. It's not quite right. And a bit more. Let's go in a bit more. This is a new model. Everything is a bit different, like the bolts and some of the connections. When you work on a new vehicle, you've got to use your head a bit. It's been quite a while since we last worked on a new model.
In the tractor shop too, work on special extensions takes place exactly in line with assembly instructions, because a modern tractor consists of tens of thousands of components. Whether we're talking about inspections, engine conversions, or accident repair work, at first glance, the farm machine workshop looks like an ordinary car workshop. It's just that here, everything is on a much bigger scale.
This vehicle rammed a pile of straw and got dented. The radiator grill is pushed in. The camera that fits in here was broken. So were the lamps. So we're going to replace everything so that the tractor looks like new again.
For tractors, combine harvesters, and so on, the mechanics use tools similar to those found in a car workshop, but they're usually a bit bigger.
Here we have a box with ratchets from size 4.5 to size 32. We also have Allen key sockets. We need all this for the machines. We also have ordinary ring spanners from size 5 to size 50.
The ratchet wrenches here for loosening the huge nuts on the wheels of a tractor have a diameter of up to 80 millimeters. For car wheels, the maximum is 17 millimeters. What's important with this job is for the tractor to look good again in the field.
We wanted to refit it, but it was already broken. We've just stuck it on provisionally. It looks like we're going to have to order a new part so that it's okay again.
This lettering is scratched and can no longer be repaired. The men have almost finished fitting the front PTO shaft. The tractor owner will soon be able to attach a mower. A tough day's work for the mechanics is coming to an end. It's of course heavier than 5 grams. Weight could be a problem, but we have excellent equipment like cranes. We have everything we need. The attachment has been fitted. Now the onboard software just has to be updated. Modern tractors are true high-tech machines.
I have to tell the tractor that it now has a PTO shaft at the front and an additional control unit. I'll check the software and then, if necessary, update it.
The mechanics now fit the bonnet and add all the fluids. Cooling water and hydraulic and transmission oil. The engine, which will later also power the mower, is a 185 horsepower water-cooled 6-cylinder diesel. The tractor has a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour and a total weight of 8 tons. The fuel tank has a capacity of 400 liters. A final engine test.
Everything seems to be fine. The control unit is building up pressure. We just have to attend to 1 or 2 more details like the side panels, the wings, and the tires. Then the tractor will be ready to use again.
In a few days, this agricultural colossus will be back harvesting on the fields in Franconia. Agritechnica is the world's biggest trade fair for agricultural machinery. Held in Hanover every 2 years, it attracts 450,000 visitors. They come to see the latest tractors, combine harvesters, and other special machines. The vehicles arrive 5 days before the fair begins. 8 specialists make sure the machines are on display in the right place at the right time.
You've brought the 1000 and the 724? So let's get them unloaded.
It's Dennis Tebbe and Marco Neiss's job to make sure everything runs smoothly. Over the next 2 days, a total of 32 machines weighing many tons will arrive at the trade fair grounds by truck. The first arrival is a 517 horsepower 1050 Vario, the world's most powerful standard tractor. The 14-ton monster just about fits on the low loader. There must be no mistakes when it's unloaded or when it's positioned.
It is vital for the machines to arrive in the order in which they will be positioned in the hall. Those for the far end must arrive first. The big machines, which will probably be exhibited at the front, will be last. That makes it easier for us to get everything in the right position.
Now, tremendous concentration is called for. This is real precision work. In unloading a machine, Dennis Tebbe has to make sure that the wheels do not slip off the narrow loading ramp. Nearly all the exhibits have already been sold to customers as demo machines, so the team has to make doubly sure they're not damaged. Virtually the entire range of this farm machine manufacturer's products will be exhibited on an area of 3,000 square meters. That means plenty of work for Dennis Tebbe and his team. Take a look, the lifting unit just needs to be moved forward a bit. This mega tire is about to be fitted to one of the stars of the trade fair, the 1050 Vario with twin tires. Instead of 2 tires at the rear, 4 will be fitted. This will enable the tractor to transfer its enormous power to the ground even more effectively. But with the twin tires, the Colossus would not have fitted on the truck. That is why they're going to be attached here at the fair. Including the tire, each wheel weighs 800 kilograms. One wrong move and the mechanics could easily be injured. That's why they use this mobile jack for assembly.
It's looking good. Perfect.
Don't push it away. We should slowly roll it. Let's first roll it. It's not moving.
If the tires aren't on flush, the rims will become tilted.
I'm trying to lift it up a bit more. Is it going up?
Just a bit. Bit more, stop. Be careful, I don't want to...
The rims are so big that I could fit inside it.
The wheel has now been secured with several nuts and can no longer shift its position. The mechanics can now relax as they attach the rest of the 12 wheel nuts. Now it's held in place. Each wheel is 2 meters 35 high and 75 centimeters wide. And if we lower it a bit? How is it on your side? Fine. Looks good. Wait, I'll lower it a bit more. But not much. Bit higher here? Good. It's in. After 2 hours, the first twin tire is safely in place. Now it's time for the other side. But before the mega tractor with its twin tires can enter the hall, the specialists drive the other machines to the stand. The men work from the back to the front, because the fair hall has only one wide entrance. In other words, the tractor, which is supposed to be right at the front, has to enter the hall last. Everything seems fine. I think we could drive it off. Okay, I'll guide and you drive. That's fine with me. It will be shown to the public for the first time at the fair. One special feature is its infinitely variable drive. There are no gears. Caterpillars are used primarily in regions with a lot of rain, like Britain. Because of their bigger contact surface compared with wheels, Caterpillars can operate much better on wet ground. This 431 horsepower model weighs 15 tons. More and more tractors and attachments are still arriving as evening approaches. After hours of work, Dennis Tebbe still needs full concentration to safely maneuver one farm machine after another into the trade fair hall.
If you come in at an angle, the accessory unit could slip off the trailer. Then you need a crane. Worst of all, the machine could tip over and be badly damaged.
There are a lot of obstacles, especially in the hall. Good. That's where they go. That's the little one, right? That goes there. And that one over there, near the box. We should be able to reverse into the box. Things constantly need to be rearranged in order to create space. Narrow trade fair passages were not made for over-wide agricultural machinery.
The stand builder has his job to do. We have to bring in the machines. We have to handle the situation as best we can to try and create space.
The trade fair is still very much under construction. That is why there is building material lying around everywhere. It makes steering quite a test for Dennis Tebbe. Along with the space problem, there's another challenge: the floor of the exhibition stand.
The driver mustn't steer while standing still, because that would shift the carpet, and we'd have to completely relay it. So he can only steer when the vehicle is moving. Air hoses and all the electric cables have also been laid in the floor, so we also have to make sure the wheels are not damaging them.
It's precision work to get everything exactly where the planners intended.
This is our central line. It was calculated beforehand, and we have to align the machine so that the line is exactly in the middle of it. The same thing also applies to the length of the vehicle. Again, there's a specific mark, and the machine must also lie parallel to all the other machines.
Just go back straight. Perfect. Looks good. All the firm's machines are now in the trade fair hall, apart from the highlight: the world's most powerful standard tractor with its twin tires. It now has to be eased through the narrow entrance to the hall. Yeah, we're finished. We fitted all four. Problems? It was a bit tricky. The ground isn't quite flat. No, but I think we did a good job. So let's make sure we can get the machine into the hall today. The mega tractor is now 5 meters wide, and the entrance to the hall is only a few centimeters wider. Success! The giant is now exactly in position. The exhibition stand is complete, and visitors are delighted. It's not only farmers who are inspired by agricultural machinery, so are children. And there's a lot on view. On an area of 3,000 square meters, this farm machine manufacturer is exhibiting 32 products at the Agritechnica. The highlights are a new large combine harvester, a new Caterpillar tractor, and a new loading vehicle. Back to the Allgäu. Located near the huge tractor factory is this gravel pit. It is here that tractors have to show how well they can withstand strain and stress. Dr. Heinz Böhle is a departmental manager. Stefan Pils is a test driver. Today they want to carry out a kind of lengthy crash test. Morning. Hey, good morning. Everything ready? Yeah. Great. All the bolts have been checked. Weather's just right, too. Yeah, the weather's good. Shall we go through the critical points? Yeah, we can do that. First, there's a critical point on the track rod. We'll need to check for any cracks. Like with the bolts, I've already checked them and tightened them with a torque wrench. Have you checked all the tire pressure? Yeah, I have. Is the rear weight 1,800 kilos as in the last tests? As in the last tests, the front loader shovel is 2 meters 10. Correct. Before a new or modified agricultural machine enters volume production, it is subjected to many tough stress tests. Visual check completed, all the bolts checked, nothing's missing. Great, let's start. The test is to determine whether the track with its front loader can withstand stresses that are 20% higher than the requirements for work in the field. No cracks must appear, nor any bolts work loose. First of all, Stefan Pils fills the shovel with gravel. Then he reverses at full speed and slams on the brakes. This maneuver also exposes parts of the tractor to extreme forces.
This is a tough, indeed excessive test. No driver would behave like this normally. But we want to cover the entire life of a tractor in a short time to be certain that the vehicle will be able to cope with every strain and load when we deliver it to the customer. The aim of the trial is to put the front loader itself to the test, as well as the vehicle body, the axles, and the powertrain. The test covers all these areas.
This tractor has passed with flying colors. At the headquarters of the farm machine manufacturer, there's also a showroom where the firm's current models are on display. Tobias Gugamos is a farmer. He's thinking about buying a new tractor for his dairy operation.
This is a tractor with a terminal, with mechanical and electrical control valves. It contains more technology than the 300 model. Here we have the front linkage you know from your 310. It just has a raising and lowering facility. But here we have electric control valves and a position-controlled front linkage with pressure relief. The mower adapts perfectly to the surface unevenness. What are the conditions like on your farm?
Yeah, we're in the Allgäu. We've got everything from hills to valleys.
So I'd advise you to go for this technology.
A new farm machine costs up to €500,000. That's some investment. But for their money, customers get technology and computer support like in a spaceship.
The GPS system enables the tractor to drive with 2 centimeter accuracy and no overlapping, so you don't even have to steer.
The firm now also has Caterpillar tractors in its program. They are used mainly in regions where the ground is soft. Because of the greater contact surface, a Caterpillar can transfer its power to damp ground much better. Caterpillars are also the first choice for farming on particularly sensitive ground. The large ground contact surface is gentle on the soil.
You'll find lots of tracked vehicles in use in England, for instance, where the soil is moist and farmers have to work with less ground pressure. Soil protection and the transfer of traction are better. With a Caterpillar, slip is between 3 and 5% compared with around 10% for a wheeled tractor.
Wheel slip occurs during substantial transfer of traction in the field. The less slip, the better.
It's like being in a spaceship. Cool. When you walk around here, it really grabs you. I'll sit down with my family and check out our finances, but I think everything looks just fine.
The final help to making a decision is the nearby circular track. Here, customers can test drive any tractor model.
Here we have the 1042, a 420 horsepower model from the 1000 series. The biggest model has 500 horsepower. It drives just like any other Fendt, so you're used to it. Want to give it a try?
And how? I'm looking forward to sitting in it and enjoying the smell, hearing the power and the noise, and simply zooming off. I want to experience it on the road and absorb the whole driving sensation.
This tractor has a top speed of 60 kilometers an hour. It weighs 14 tons. This version costs nearly 400,000 euros.
Fantastic. It was great climbing into this spaceship. And when the engine roars, your fingertips vibrate. You grab the steering wheel, select, and put your foot down. The force pushes you down into the seat, just as if you were taking off in a spaceship.
Tractors and agricultural machinery made in Germany. What started as a small tractor firm is now a global company. For years now, farm machines from the Allgäu have been seen on fields worldwide.